What's going on, you guys? So congrats to Oscar De La Hoya for successfully paying the judges off in this fight. Zepeda clearly lost 8 rounds to 4. I had Tevin Farmer winning. And in the 12th round, it looked like a sure knockdown, but, the referee didn't call it. It is what it is. They fought in Mexico. It's on Golden Boy Promotions, DAZN. DAZN is the worst commentary I've ever heard in my entire life. They kept on saying the most stupidest things the whole entire fight, which they typically do when, ever you listen to Sergio Mora or Chris Mannix. Those guys are a complete joke. Super biased to whoever they're promoting or whoever's in, part of DAZN. But going to the fight, Zepeda had some good rounds. I'm not going to deny that. Zepeda clearly had, rounds he won. Clearly. Early on, it looked like Tevin Farmer might be in some serious trouble. He looked like he was battling an injury. I'm not sure if it was the elbow or the hand. But nonetheless, you can clearly see that it affected him in the ring. But those first 2 rounds, I was a little worried for old Tevin Farmer. It wasn't looking good. But then he bounced back to the 3rd round. And then Zepeda came, had another good round after that, another 2 good rounds. And then in the 6th round, it changed for me. Tevin Farmer clearly won that 6th round, and I had him win in almost every single round after that. Realistically, how I had this fight scored was 8 rounds to 4 to Tevin Farmer. And the reason for that is he was landing the more cleaner, harder, effective punches. And in that 12th round, he had him hurt. I think a lot of the times what Tevin Farmer's mistake was when Zepeda was clinching or coming forward and throwing a flurry of punches, it was his reaction to those punches. And a lot of them were smothered or didn't even land. But when you look at it, if you're a judge, I would think you're going to say, oh, Zepeda's landing some shots. He's throwing a flurry of punches and Tevin Farmer's evading. And I think a lot of it had to do with him not wanting to hurt his elbow and get hit on that elbow or his hand. But nonetheless, he won this fight. Like I said, I had 8 rounds to 4. Another display of politics ruining the sport of boxing. But big respect to Tevin Farmer. I thought you won, bro. You fought the dude in Mexico. So, realistically going into it, I had thought you probably are going to win the fight by just boxing him like you did. But I had a feeling before this fight, even started that Tevin Farmer really would have won, but he was going to get robbed on scorecards. But, in a lot of people's eyes, in my eyes, I had Tevin Farmer winning this fight. Landed the cleaner, harder, more effective punches. I don't trust copy box at all, especially if it's like a network like a DAZN or something like that. PBC. When it's the star fighters fighting, the copy box numbers are all going to be favoring the star. There was no way Tank and Lamont landed close to the same amount of punches. Lamont landed more punches. Tonight, you can somewhat believe it, but like I said, none of those shots were really landing. They were all smothered. They were hitting him on the elbow, the legs, the shoulders. They weren't effective punches. And if they were really effective punches, how do you land 500 and you don't get your guy out of there? Do you land 300 power shots, but your guy doesn't even get hurt 1 point in the fight? It's a joke. The copy box, I don't trust the copy box numbers at all. A lot of people are probably going to defend Zepeda and bring up those numbers, but I think those numbers are bogus, and I thought that decision was bogus. I think Oscar De La Hoya is a joke as a promoter. Clearly this is a robbery. A lot of people thought the first fight was a robbery. I don't remember what I had it scored as. I remember looking at it as a competitive fight. I wasn't really trying to score the fight. But going into that fight, a lot of people were saying, oh, Tevin Farmer is just a tune-up to get Zepeda ready for a Shakur. Shakur will beat the brakes off Zepeda. It won't even be competitive. And a lot of people say, oh, the pressure of Zepeda is going to cause, many problems for Shakur. No, I don't think so. I think the fact that Zepeda, going against the best defensive boxer in boxing, his punch output is going to drop drastically, and he's going to get picked apart. If you're getting picked apart by Tevin Farmer, you're not ready for a Shakur Stevenson. And a lot of people, just Chris Mannix and Sergio Mora talk about a trilogy. If I'm Tevin Farmer, yeah, maybe take that fight. But I thought he clearly won this fight. He clearly won this fight. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for, really all these boxers. I felt bad for Lamont Roach. I feel bad for these guys that get robbed on the scorecards. To me, this was a clear robbery. Some of those rounds maybe are swing rounds, so I'm not gonna press too hard about it if someone has like it being a draw or something like that. But for the most part, I thought Lamont won this fight 8-4. I could see 7-5, but nonetheless, man, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Who'd you have winning the fight? How did you score it? Hate, like, comment, subscribe. Till next time.